Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I filmed this silver, very glam makeup tutorial. I really enjoyed the way this came out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like it up if you do. Also subscribe to my channel if you are new here, or if you have not subscribed yet. I would really appreciate it if you hit that red button down below. And let's go ahead and jump right into the tutorial. So I'm going to start out by priming my eyes. I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. I've been loving this concealer recently. It's so creamy and high coverage, and it blends out so nicely. I really enjoy it, and it just makes everything look very airbrushed and flawless. I did fill in my brows with my Anastasia brow definer in chocolate, and I did that off camera. Then going in with the Naked Urban Decay Basics palette, I'm going to be taking that yellow tone shade and the kind of cream shade and mixing those two together to set my eyelid with this e.l.f. tapered brush. I'm going to do this just so that all the other shadows will blend super nicely. Then I'm going to be taking the shade Naked and popping that in the crease. I'm just blending that in the crease as my transition shade and blending it upwards. I'm going to be building up the color. It wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it to be, so I just kept building it up until I got the pigmentation I wanted. Taking the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, I'm going to be taking this taupey brown shade and further deepening out the crease. This is going to be a fairly kind of cool toned smoky eye tutorial, so I'm going to be using a lot more cool toned shades than I usually do. I know I usually go for the kind of peachy orangey tones just because I'm obsessed with that, but I thought I would do something a little different. Taking this Lorac Bohemian Quad, I'm taking this kind of navy colored shade, and I'm going to be popping this in the outer V of the eye and slowly building it up and building it into the crease. I'm going to be doing this really slowly. As you can tell, it wasn't as pigmented as I was hoping it would be. It did work out okay though. I just really had to build it up and slowly work it in so it wasn't patchy. Then taking this kind of gunmetal gray shade, I'm going to be building that up in the outer V and then dragging it into the crease. Then taking the black shade from the palette as well, I'm going to be slowly working this into my outer V and kind of dragging it along the lash line a little bit and then into the crease. You really want to work slowly with these dark shadows and build them up slowly. I know it can take a lot of time, but the payoff is really worth it because if you don't, it could just look really messy and muddy. Then taking the same concealer, I'm going to be cleaning up the inner half of my eye. Then taking those two shades from the Naked Basics palette that we used to set the eyelid, I'm going to go ahead and set that concealer just so that when we pop the silver shade on, it's all nice and ready to go. So I'm taking this Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Koosh. This is a silver, very pigmented, gorgeous glam shadow. I'm going to be popping this on with a flat shader brush, and I'm just going to be packing this on and taking my time with it. It's very pigmented. Colourpop shadows do work better with your finger, but because I want this to be kind of precise, I don't want to be using my finger for it, so I'm just working it with a brush. Then using that gray shade, blending out the edges, and taking this NYX Liquid Crystal Liner. I'm not sure what the shade is, but I will leave the link down below. It is just like their clear shade, just to give a little bit more pop of like silvery glitter. And I'm going to be applying a nice thick wing. Then taking my Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in Swerve and my Makeup Forever Excessive Lash Mascara, I'm going to be popping those both on upper tight line and my upper lashes. Then for lashes, I'm going to be applying the Vegas Nay Grand Glamour lashes with Eyelure. They are beautiful and they are so dramatic. Taking the L'Oreal Magic Looming Primer, placing that all over the face to give it a nice kind of glow to the skin. Then going in with the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer, and then of course my NARS All Day Luminous Foundation. This is actually a pretty luminous foundation, but it's not super dewy. It's more of a very natural skin-like looking finish, and I absolutely love this foundation. I forgot how much I love it. It's very pigmented, very lightweight, and it looks so beautiful on the skin. It was just my perfect shade at this time, and I just love it so much. Especially during this winter season, I always forget how much I love it because in the summer it can be a little bit too dewy, but in the wintertime it's so perfect and natural looking, it just looks like skin. Then going in with my beauty blender to pick up any excess product, just in case I did put a little bit too much down with that brush. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and conceal the face. I'm going to be going in with the Wet n Wild concealer that we used before. This is in the shade Light Medium, and I'm going to be applying that right under the eyes, on the forehead, the nose, the cupid's bow, the chin, just because I want to give a nice amount of highlight and coverage to those under eyes. Conceal all those sleep-deprived dark circles. You know what I mean, guys. Obviously, we all got them. We all got them. If you don't, you're not working hard enough. I'm kidding. If you don't, you're definitely getting enough sleep, which is a good thing. I need to get more sleep. Then I'm just balancing that out with my damp beauty blender. This is my favorite way to blend out concealer. You guys know I can't get away from it, but, you know. Then I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Medium Cream Contour Kit. And I'm going to be using this bio oil, and I'm going to be just putting one drop in the lightest shade of the contouring colors, just because I kind of want more of that bronzy look, not quite so much a super contoured look, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to be painting that on with a little concealer brush, just around my cheekbones, my temples, my lower lip, and a little bit on my nose, just to give a nice balanced effect with the rest of the bronziness. You always want to give a little bit of bronze to your nose, just so it balances everything out, because the sun would naturally hit your nose. It wouldn't like just hit your cheekbones. So you definitely want to give a little bit of warmth to the nose. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out with a Morphe E50 brush. I love this brush for contour, both powder and cream. I feel like it just works so well. And I'm just tapping that out on the skin, and you can tell it just looks so incredibly flawless. I love this cream product. It definitely needs a beauty oil though. It's very dry if you don't have one. And bio oil I have been absolutely loving just to put on the skin every single day. And I feel like it's really helped clear up my skin. So if you're someone that has acne prone skin and you don't know what to do about it, definitely try bio oil. I feel like it has really helped me. Then taking Rimmel Stay Matte Press Powder in the shade Translucent, I'm going to be taking this on my damp beauty blender and just pressing that into the under eyes, pressing that onto the chin, the forehead, the nose, just where I put that concealer, and because that is where I tend to get oily. I don't want to really press that in all over the face, but I'm going to be taking the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder and just very lightly dusting that over the rest of the face. Not too much product though, because I don't want to be too matte. Of course it does look kind of matte, but you know, that's me. I can't help it. Then taking that nice taupey brown shade, and I'm going to go ahead and do my lower lash line and really building up the color on that lower lash line, because I do love a nice dark lower lash line. And then taking that gray gunmetal shade and the black shade, I'm going to go ahead and pop that on the lower lash line more towards the outer corner, just to give it a little bit more depth and to really intensify the look. Taking ColourPop Cream Gel Liner and Swerve again and tight lining my eyes all the way in to the inner rim of the eye and all the way out, and it's just gonna really pull the look together. Then taking my Makeup Forever Excessive Lash again and popping that on the lower lashes. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and bronze up the skin. I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette, and I'm going to be taking the middle shade, which is the warmest shade in the palette. I really do love this shade, and I've been loving it so much for contouring recently. So first, taking that E50 brush to contour the cheekbones and set that cream contour we did earlier. It's just such a beautiful natural contour, as you can just tell. It's just so nice and beautiful. If your skin tone is on the more warm side, you're gonna love this medium shade because it has a nice neutral to warm undertone, so it's not gonna be too ashy on you. I definitely have that trouble sometimes where it just starts to look too ashy. Then taking a bigger brush and taking that same product, I'm just going to be blending it out and using this to make it a little bit more bronzed and a little bit more glowy, you know what I mean? Because I still want that nice contoured look, but I do, of course, want a nice bronze. Blend it down the neck, obviously, because it would be really awkward if your head looked like it was floating. Then taking Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush in the shade Apricot in the middle, I'm going to be popping this on my cheeks with this Flower Beauty brush. And then I'm going to take my Mario Badescu Rose Water Facial Spray and spritz that all over my face. You guys know I love this. Then taking the NYX Strobe Genius Highlighting Palette. This is my first time using it, and it's beautiful. I'm taking those two kind of champagne-y gold shades, and I'm going to be popping that on my cheekbones. These are not gold. I don't know why I say gold. This is more of a champagne-y, more of like cream color. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's not super gold because I wanted something that would be a little bit more silver toned and a little bit more cool toned to match the eye look. I'm popping that also on my brow bone and on my inner corners just to give a nice amount of highlight to balance out the rest of the look. As you guys can tell, this is such an intense highlighter and I'm so obsessed. If you guys also want your highlighter to be more intense, that's why I like to spritz some facial spray before, and it will make your highlighter even more intense when you apply it. Going in with my L'Oreal Brow Styles Plumper in the shade Medium Deep. Are we surprised? Nope. And I'm just going to go ahead and set my brows. Then I'm going to take my Milani Most Natural Lip Liner and line my lips as usual. Are we surprised? We should not be surprised at this point because, let's be real, this is the most beautiful lip liner in my entire life. It's one of my most favorite lip liners in the entire world. It just is such a beautiful color. Then I'm going to be taking Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Bow and Arrow and NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Cairo in the middle. And I'm just mixing those two together. This is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial. I really do love the way it came out. It's a little bit different because it's very smoky, very glam, very cool tones, but I really do love it because it still has a little bit of warmth to the skin. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like it up. Hit the subscription button down below if you have not already. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.